Driving simulators have exploded in popularity in recent years, but is this actually a useful driving aid made possible by modern technology, or are sims just another passing fad?
We're here at Apex V2R, a custom simulator shop here in Ottawa, Canada, and they've invited us up here for a little experiment. Over the next couple of days, we're going to be racing in cars we've never been in before, at a racetrack we've never been to before, in a racing series that's highly competitive and wheel-to-wheel that we've never raced in before. The only advantage we're going to get is one day on some simulators.
I am Marc Senge, Director of Apex V2R. Apex V2R is a solution for drivers to experience and train with performance driving from the virtual world to the real world. So today we're going to put the bends on these two simulators behind me with the goal of assessing their driving, giving them a couple of tips to see if we can make them faster, but most importantly, getting them introduced to our car and the tracks that they'll be driving.
The first step in our week-long experiment is hopping on Apex V2R's high-end simulators and firing up iRacing. We're doing practice laps at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, or MoSport for short, a track that neither Ben nor I have ever seen in real life. We're practicing MoSport specifically because we will be endurance racing there in real life in just a few days. More on that later.
On this really nice sim for the first time, driving the GR86 at MoSport, which I've literally never seen before today. I'm feeling like a fish in water. The first couple of laps here have just been kind of like figuring out where I'm going. This is all stuff I don't have to learn when I'm actually at the racetrack. I can go out and actually be a little more on pace. At least that's the theory.
Essentially, the way that you'll drive on a simulator with a properly designed car in a laser scan track is going to be the same way. So you do not need a fancy simulator to obviously learn the techniques. The driver inputs are always going to be the same. Higher end equipment just makes it more immersive, which can be a little bit more fun, but not necessarily faster.
So this sim rig has motion in the seat. It's way more immersive, which is definitely helping to give me a sense of speed and a sense of fear, which is kind of the biggest thing missing out of my sim rig setup at home.
Obviously, when you're racing in real life, there are consequences to you going off track or crashing. So the most important thing that we're going to want to teach them is going to be reference points. We're learning a new car, we're learning a new track, so we want them to be able to take away, where am I going to brake? What speeds am I going to take the corner? Where's my turn in? Where's my apex? And hopefully, if that can transition well into the real racing, that's where they're going to be able to get really comfortable in real racing and start matching what they were doing on the sim.
To aid in our sim training, we're in a lobby with one of the top sim racers in Canada, Suelio Almeida. He's giving us hands-on coaching around iRacing's virtual scan of MoSport, while we try in vain to beat his lap times.
Ideally, what you want to do at that corner, the 5A and B, is to treat it as just one, like in a way that you carry so much speed that you don't have time to accelerate in between.
If you're able to put in 8 to 10 hours a week on your simulator, it would be the same as somebody that spends maybe a weekend at a real racetrack every month, except you're getting it for free.
We then change over to another simulation software, Assetto Corsa, where Marc has modified a car almost identically to the one we'll be driving for the rest of the week. Across both sim softwares, Ben Thorne was definitely the quicker of the two of us, while I trailed behind in times. We begin learning Calabogie Motorsports Park, another Canadian track we'll be driving very soon in real life.
So now we're trying out Calabogie, which is kind of our testing track that we're going to tomorrow. Calabogie is a lot bigger of a track, a lot more corners anyway. It's taking a lot longer to kind of get acclimated to where the corners are, which direction to go, and how to go fast. So I'm very glad I've got some seat time virtually before we go there. After a full day of driving virtual representations of Apex's cars on iRacing and Assetto Corsa, the next day, we're gonna drive the real thing.
All right, so we are here in the V2R garage. This is one of our race cars, and this is Jeff. Jeff, what is your role with the team here?
So I'm kind of the mechanic guy, kind of look after the cars, build them, fix stuff. I do Jeff things.
Do you want to do a Jeff thing and walk us through one of the cars
Sure.
we're going to be driving this weekend?
Yes, so they are all three Scion FRSs.
Yeah.
They're mild race cars, stripped interior, we've got full roll cage.
And they're all 6-speed manual. I'm going to be heel towing all weekend?
Absolutely not.
What?
No, they're automatics.
They're automatic.
Basically, paddle
Okay.
shift with the automatic. If it doesn't have the RPM for the engine to go to, it will not allow you to downshift. So it's a very big safety item. So compared to what you guys were driving on the sim yesterday, These cars are very similar feeling to that here in the real world, and I think you're going to see that this afternoon at Calabogie.
Well, we're here in real life now at Calabogie Motorsports Park with real life cars. We're gonna put it to the test, put the sim racing to the test, see how much crossover there actually is between the virtual knowledge that we got of this track and the real life knowledge coming through these corners, which direction the corners go, but also maybe even down to where the bumps are and how the curbing feels.
We can figure out how to actually get all the way around the lap.
Yeah.
I feel like the sim has done more than enough.
All right, Calabogie, let's boogie.
What's crazy is I know exactly where I'm going, and the car feels very much like it did on the simulator. I mean, we kind of could have predicted that this was going to happen because we've done this before in real life, but I've never done it also in a car I've never driven. And I know very much what to expect from a car perspective and a track perspective.
Man, if I didn't have the sim, I would have been so blind to all this. This is actually a crazy track.
It feels crazy similar to what we were doing yesterday. Like I went out and I know where every corner is, I know what I'm supposed to be doing for each corner, I know what to set up for the next corner. Feels like remarkably similar to what we're actually getting in real life.
It definitely feels very similar. If I didn't have the sim experience of racing here, it's like, man, there's so many corners. There's no way I'd be able to remember where I'm going. At least I can kind of put that aside. I know where I'm going, and now I can just kind of focus on the car and the characteristics of it and the grip and the slidiness and all that.
This is so fun. I'm having a blast.
Woo! Just like I'm back at the sim. I'm just chilling.
We just did, I don't know how many laps of Calabogie, probably
Honestly, I mean,
fewer than we think
yeah.
because it's a pretty long lap. But,
Yeah.
but that was awesome. Personally, I feel like it translated about as well. Like I feel like I literally just came from doing a track day here yesterday in that car.
Yeah, this is my home track.
Yeah,
don't you know?
and now I'm back to, yeah. This was more of a test to just see, actually get us in the car before we do the race. Tomorrow is the real deal when we're doing a real race, and we're finally really gonna put this theory to the test. We are here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, Mosport for the real deal. At Calabogie, we learned that yes, you can learn a racetrack and a car just from playing a simulator.
And it's a good thing because there's no practice for this race. Ben is gonna be starting, that's why he's suited up. No practice, first time on Mosport.
Okay, we're going racing at Mosport. This looks very similar to how it did on Sim, so that's good.
It looks like an awesome track. It looks like a big boy track. Like it's got some serious elevation change.
With the race starting the first time I'm ever doing a lap here, I'm gonna be going out and going pretty hard, just trusting that the track is gonna be how it was in the sim.
And the race is about to start, so no nerves whatsoever. We're gonna do great.
I'm gonna be right behind our two sister cars. Our coach on the sim, Suelio, is gonna be leading the pack.
I think the worst part is going to be the first third, but then he's going to become very comfortable. And, you know, at the last third, he's going to be sending it.
Immediately at the race start, I lost a position to the Porsche behind me. Although I knew where I was going and what to do, just like Suelio had predicted, I didn't have the confidence to take corners at the car's full potential yet. Like they say, you can't win a race in the first corner, but you can lose it.
This is fast.
I continued to lose a handful of positions to the cars behind me as I worked up to pace, and got a sense of how hard those around me would be racing.
Get on the inside. Oh, this is racing, huh?
But within 5 or 6 laps, I was beginning to feel more comfortable and started to apply what I'd learned in the sim.
Look at fast Ultima, what the heck? Feels just like the sim. I have no idea what I can do where.
By this point in the race, things are going very well, and I'm slicing and dicing my way back up through the pack. I set my quickest lap at a 1:38.7, somewhere between the times I was setting on iRacing versus Assetto Corsa, but all of the training is proving very relatable to the real world. Near the end of my stint, I've worked my way back into 3rd place, and it's shaping up to be a very solid race for us. I just need to keep it clean and bring the car home in one.
I just had contact.
A momentary bout of overconfidence coupled with the ice mode I'd noted as a potential issue earlier has resulted in my first ever on-track contact, at least in real life.
He's just trying to be unpredictable, so you don't know.
Oh man, that's my bad.
Here we find the first big difference between the simulator and real life. What can be laughed off in the sim when racing with friends is very much not a laughing matter when it happens for real.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Somebody get ready for fuel.
Unfortunately, damage was not turned off for this race, and I felt crushingly apologetic.
There was a Civic going slow on the left, and I was trying to follow the Porsche through, and it got too tight, and the ice mode turned on, and I just couldn't stop. I'm really sorry, Marc.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, dude.
Who's driving this thing? You guys have to watch. You gotta watch it. Dial it down, pal. Okay, set it on. Don't worry. Dial it down.
Hey, not right now. Come back later. We're doing something.
All right, take a deep breath, Stan. Relax. All right, forget everything else that's going on. Just go out, have fun.
Yeah.
Luckily, the car was good to go after a wheel change, and our next driver, Stan, went out for his scheduled stint.
I actually talked to the team. I noticed that going up 5A, if you brake too hard, you get less braking. Yes. So we have to brake, feel the vibration of the ABS, and not press more. Keep it there. Because if you press more, you feel the car stopping less.
There's not like a fun spin on it. You know, it's not like, oh, it's for the video. I f***ed up Marc's car. I messed up that car. I could have broken the car to where nobody else could have driven it. Luckily, the car's okay, but I could have made it so that Ben couldn't drive, Kate couldn't drive, Stan couldn't drive. So there's not, it's not funny. You know, it's not like, this isn't like a fun, lighthearted thing, unfortunately. It's, you know, I'm driving somebody else's car in an amateur race, and there's no reason for me to be trying to, you know, go for every gap.
Luckily, race control shows Ben grace and doesn't ban him from racing the rest of the weekend. Meanwhile, I'm focused on my upcoming stint, the very first time I'll drive Mosport in real life. My main concern is not making the same mistakes as Ben.
Car off. Car off.
Too late. We still got 15 seconds. So remember to stop for your egg timer. You can lift your visor if you want to. Just be safe, have fun, and then feel it out.
I do feel it out, very, very cautiously. Unlike Ben, this is my first time driving somebody else's car in a brand new endurance series at a brand new track. What's more, while I drive plenty of rear-wheel drive cars in the simulator, in real life, I'm sort of a front-wheel drive elitist. My experience with rear-wheel drive cars is pretty limited.
He's pretty consistent in the mid-140s, a little bit lower than that, so his pace is pretty good compared to everyone else.
My initial impressions? Wow, this is just like the sim. Obviously, I can figure out where to go from the practice that we've had, but what's more impressive is how closely the car drives here compared to Assetto. Felt right at home, literally felt right at home. All the bumps on the track, the curbing, everything felt exactly the same. And it gave me the confidence to be able to actually go out there and put some pretty quick times down. They were telling me on the radio that I was doing like 5 seconds a lap faster than the cars ahead of us in our class. So moved us up like 5 or 6 places, which is awesome.
He's all an ass now, that's for sure. 139, then set a 140. I don't know.
We are ready for you, Brad.
Beat your time soon.
Bring it now, yo.
I feel completely confident now for the next race to just get in the car and immediately off the bat put down some fast times.
Our other co-driver, Kate, takes her stint in the car, and finally it's time for Stan to bring it all home.
If I didn't do the sim training, I wouldn't have done that fast on the track. It definitely helped feeling what I can push and what I can't push.
After 8 hours of racing and a late class change for one of the other cars ahead of us, we are bumped out of the P3 spot and Stan brings it home in 4th.
In 3rd place, 8-0 Apex V2R.
We just missed the podium, but it feels good to see all of our coaches in a top 3 spot. And now that we've gotten our feet wet, it's time to really push in the race tomorrow.
We've got Kate in the car starting us off, then Ben's up, then I'm up, then Stan again.
Kate does push. After losing some positions in her first ever race start, she sets her fastest time of the weekend so far at a 1:40.7. And she's on a solid stint until a mistake from our number 82 sister car causes a red flag.
Oh, Apex is in a lag.
Which Apex is in what, sorry? Repeat? Yeah, I see it from here. It's 82, it seems like.
Yeah, it's not Marc's car.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's that.
One of our cars is trying to pass a lot of other cars through turn 1, and I'm not sure if there's a bit of contact or not, but
It's all gone. Like, that car is a write-off.
I think he went in approximately this angle.
Kate is out there right now. She's doing a great job. We're in P11 overall. So my plan is just to keep it safe. I want to run probably consistent 140s, make sure I don't have any mess ups.
Car feeling good?
Doing this.
Car
so great.
awesome.
Not yet, but it's still good so far. Catching up with 3 cars already. The only thing keeping me from consistent 140s is something that we didn't experience free lapping on the simulator, and that's the other cars on the track. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 cars ahead of me now, all piled up. Whoa, yeah. We got white horses 70. Like, he didn't hit me, but man, it's close. Yeah, I'm stuck behind 2 BMWs and an Integra, and definitely have pace on them, but it's really hard to find where that door opening is. Yeah, I'm just stuck in traffic. There's not much I can do. And that back has so much more speed on the brake.
Gotta brake him in the turns.
After Ben's collision with a competitor yesterday, I'm not about to risk repeating the same mistake. But the balance of risk management makes getting around slower drivers that much harder.
Well, that was a good lap, Ben.
Yeah, still stuck behind the car. Still braking early.
Just imagine what you could do into clean air.
I know, give it to me. Tell me to start the pit.
We can't do everything for you. It's on you to get there.
Thanks.
How's the car feeling?
Great. I'm gonna pass right now. She did not see me. One more. I gave him an Alonso. Take my finger out.
You must give the space.
Always give the space. Holy shit! What the? Hot lapping alone on sim won't prepare you for the stress of going door to door in real life, or for cars that lose a wheel in the middle of the race. Oh wow, right on track exit. TSX.
Right on track exit?
Track exit at turn 1. No tire on the car. Ice mode. Oh! I almost just did what Ben did. Oh! Real life wheel-to-wheel racing has way more unknowns. We're facing the BMW, and it's just not enough to get past. Closes the door on me every time. He's so good. He's so aware. Yes! Got the BMW. Yeah.
Yes, now stay ahead of him.
No! One lap. Oh my god, you're so far off pace. But that was so fun.
Hey Ben, this is other Ben. I'm just doing a radio check, but also want to tell you you're doing a great job.
Thanks man, tons of traffic, but I'm having tons of fun. I bring the car in after an almost 50-lap stint, and now it's time for Ben's shot at redemption.
While Ben was taking it easy, chatting it up and saving fuel during his stint, I'm 100% focused getting back into the car.
And you could probably do some 139s.
Okay.
Just keep it safe, the tires are pretty greasy.
I need to keep it clean, but also make sure that my mistake yesterday doesn't slow me down as a driver. It's time to get back on the horse.
So currently running P12. Oh, Ben, 139. Man, 138.7. Dude, you are flying out there. Your lap times are currently faster than every car in front of you other than one. It's a new personal best this session, Ben. 38.1, amazing.
your other Ben. I saw you beat my time, and I just want to say f you.
All right, Ben is about halfway through his stint right now, and he's taking no prisoners. He just did multiple 37.9s, which is, about 2.5 seconds, 2.1 seconds faster than what I just did. I want to see what his lap looks like, because 37 is absolutely flying.
Ben, what the hell? You're on fire. You're under 138 now? Full send, dude.
I just felt 100% dialed in as soon as I got into the car. I think I got us up to P6, which feels really good. And then we just put Stan in the car, so he's gonna do a freaking super consistent stint.
I have spent a little bit of time this year on Apex V2R sims. It helped me get my turn-ins better. And I'm faster today than I was the last time on this track.
Stan finishes out his stint and hands the car off to Kate, but she's not overly thrilled with the car's condition after nearly 400 laps of abuse this weekend.
How's the car working?
It feels honestly like, but it's okay.
With Kate's stint winding down, I'm still feeling the exhaustion of the 50-lap stint I did earlier. So we put Ben back in the car to finish us out.
All right, Ben, this is the other Ben. I see you're doing 39.9s. It's a bit off pace. I want you to pick it up. I need that 2 seconds up, bud.
Kate wasn't kidding. The car feels much worse than when I last drove it. But we're less than an hour from the end of the race. The only obstacle in my path now is a very familiar white Civic.
Take it easy on that Civic. Isn't that the same Civic you did earlier? I'm pretty sure that Civic is the car that's ahead of us, number 124. You are gaining by about a 2-second lap delta.
Although the FRS is definitely faster than this Civic around a lap, their K-Series gives them a massive edge in the straights. And the driver is no slouch. He's fairly defending all the way around the lap, and the last thing I'm gonna do is risk contact with the same car again. All this means that I'm desperately trying to pass them lap after lap after lap after lap after lap.
And we're crossing at the 4:30 mark, so you have 30 minutes remaining.
With the runtime of the race dwindling, I don't know if I'm ever going to get past, and it goes from bad to worse when a full course caution puts the straight line monster Maxima between the two of us.
There's 16 minutes left.
As soon as the green flag waves, I'm after it. There's no way I'm getting stuck behind this Maxima. I make the pass, and in the hectic restart, the Civic leaves the door open. Unfortunately, with a car ahead, I can't eke out the advantage, and the Civic repasses on the straight.
8 minutes remaining.
There's only a few minutes of the race left. If I'm going to make the pass stick, it needs to be now.
Great job of that overtake.
I was in the FRS.
Oh, you were?
Dude, what a fight. That was awesome.
was
good job.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I hate you guys earlier this weekend.
Oh, did you?
That was me yesterday.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
So I'm glad, hey.
I got back at you then.
Yeah. I'm glad we could do it better this time.
Oh, yeah.
Sim racing is a phenomenal learning tool. We went from knowing nothing about Canadian Tire Motorsports Park to racing very competitively there only a few days later, in cars that we'd never driven. Without having the simulator as a tool, we would have never had the consistency, pace, or confidence that we did.
Holy that was so fun.
But you have to use simulators very intentionally to learn the most from them. If you treat a driving sim like it's a game, it won't adequately prepare you for real life. The safety rating in iRacing may seem harsh, but collisions in real life have even greater repercussions.
Our final conclusion, if you want to improve your car control, prepare for a new racetrack, or have every competitive edge possible in racing, you need to be using a sim.